University. It seems that the gloves are off as far as the military is concerned. How are you reading the situation?
Well, on March 27th, when the Major General Atar Abbas of the military establishment gave a go-ahead and announced that the ultimate aim of the military mission will be either to expel the Taliban or to eliminate them. Now, the situation is that whether you talk about Mingora city or other areas of the Malakan division, the terrorists and insurgents are mixed with the common population. And this is the irony and tragic consequence of a military operation, that when the target are areas where insurgents are mixed with the common people, then there will be internally displaced persons. So what we are seeing is an evolving human tragedy.
But there has been a concerted effort by the military and the government to keep those windows of opportunity open. We're seeing a much longer window open now to get those civilians out. Do you think the message is getting through to the remote areas of the region?
I think it will take time, because the region we are talking about is mountainous, very rugged terrain, and people do not live in major city spots or town centers. They are spread across the mountainous area, and I think it will take time for the message to pass across to the people who have already been affected and who are potential victims of this crisis.
It's also very difficult to get that message across really to the international audience watching the events of the area. But we're now talking about a major military operation in an area where helicopter gunships are required and perhaps more ground troops. How long do you think this operation is going to take?
You see, even if we are talking about some thousands of Taliban insurgents, given the difficulty of the terrain and the long history of warfare in this region, what we are talking about is a long, intense campaign against the militants, insurgents and terrorists. And the other thing is that they are well armed, that there are other external channels of support. So the reason military was reluctant so far was that it wanted to negotiate the conflict and somehow reach an amicable settlement. But as you know, that Taliban, after having this peace deal in Swat, unilaterally revoked the agreement and started to expand their militaristic campaign beyond Swat Valley. And that was one reason why the military had to operate eventually. Second, I think more importantly, was that the civilian government was not taking the ownership of the military operation. And for the past over 1 year, this was the situation, that the army wanted to take them to own this operation. And once the Prime Minister made this speech a few days ago, he clearly took the ownership and ordered this military operation.
I wanted to come on to that issue of ownership and who's actually in charge. The government have come under a lot of criticism, but slowly we're also seeing the government on a PR mission with the country as a whole. They want the public behind them. We've seen small demonstrations around the country, Karachi, Lahore, Rawalpindi, Islamabad, people voicing their concerns, anti-Taliban, pro-military, showing their support, if in small amounts, for the government. What do you make of that?
I think, the difference from the past is very clear. That in the past there was clear-cut sympathy for Taliban, for other insurgents and even for the terrorists. But gradually, slowly but surely, what we are seeing is that the public is also backing the military operation because of the Taliban excesses.
Well, we shall see what carries on. Ishtiaq Ahmad, thank you for joining us.